Hello, everyone. Good evening from Noida. This is Vinayakk Mohanarangan with the Indian Express sports team. Joining me is Amit Kamath from Mumbai. And we'll be talking about yet another memorable day for India at the 19th Asian Games in Hangzhou. Quite a few talking points today. Two gold medals from athletics and so much more that happened. Amit, busy day again. Start us off with the medal tally.
Yeah, absolutely. Finally, for a change, I mean, we are very close to overhauling that record that we had set 5 years ago in Jakarta 2018, where we had 16 gold medals and we had 70 overall medals. And remember, last time around at Jakarta, when we got 70 overall medal, 15 gold medals, that was a record which we had broken. We had said that first time in 1951. So from 1951 to Indonesia in Jakarta, we had our best tally was 15 goals. Jakarta we got 16 goals. That was still our best. Tomorrow, hopefully, it seems likely that we will overhaul that as well. Besides that, we are also very close to overhauling the overall tally of medals that we've ever won, the record of 70. So big day coming up tomorrow. I mean, uh, any day that has Neeraj Chopra competing is anyway a big day for pretty much everybody. Like, Asian Games mein you get all these people who are uh, like certainly interested in knee sports. But then when we talk about Neeraj Chopra, I mean, it's safe to say that he's more mainstream than maybe any other athlete in India at the moment. So when he competes tomorrow, we will see that there is this massive hype anyway. And to top it off, we'll also probably go past our gold medal record and our overall medals record. Right now, we are at 15 gold medals, 69 medals. We are still at the fourth place. And we are being chased very hard by Uzbekistan, which has 14 gold medals. So, in the next couple of days, I mean, wrestling starts tomorrow. So, hopefully, we'll have something there. Neeraj Chopra, there's still track and field remaining. So, that's good. A couple of boxing medals maybe coming in, and definitely a lot of archery. A lot of hope in archery. Uh, we had 10 medals today. Two of them were gold. And I'll throw it back to you, Vinayak, because you've seen that race from Parul, which I think has to be the highlight of any highlight reel that we do for today.
Right, of course. Just one thing to add about the medal tally, we have officially already crossed 70 from the last time around because, I mean, going by the assured medals that are coming in. So I think about 8-9 medals are going to be added, still to be added in the list. So we have India are already, I think, close to 80 in terms of what is coming in. So it's a question of how much more than 80 they're going to go. Moment of the day has to be Parul Chaudhury's finish to that 5,000 meter women's final. She is already the silver medalist from the steeplechase. She just ran that massive race yesterday. And to do the 5,000 meter final, steeplechase final on back-to-back days is not easy, right? I mean, but she was one of the favorites for the medals. She was among the top runners for most of it. And just towards the end, it looked like, Japan had a little bit of separation. And then Parul was finishing second. But just as the Japan athlete turned to her right, Parul Chaudhury made the move from the left on the inside, and she didn't know what hit her. And over the last about 30 meters, 25 meters, she just had a final massive burst. I mean, it's the thing that boggles my mind is to do this in a 5,000 itself is a big deal. To have that sort of a final burst. To do it a day after running a steeplechase, 3,000 meter steeplechase, and to be able to find that final burst is, I mean, just amazing. And she wasn't far off her personal best as well. I mean, you can imagine if it was a slow race and she had a little bit left in the tank and all that. I don't know how far off, but she was quite close to the personal best mark of her career in 5,000 meters. So absolutely remarkable race. That was what we've been saying with the word that you've been using, salvaging gold from a silver. That was the definition of that. It looked like a nailed on silver, which would have been a very good achievement. Double silver in 2 long distance races. And then she just turned it around to take to gold. The other gold came from javelin, but before that, if you're going by the order of magnificent moments, we'll have to talk about Tejaswin Shankar's silver in the decathlon. One that we've been following very closely here at the Express Sports team, because it's basically it's an athlete who's very interesting. First of all, that plays a part in this, and the things that he does is also very interesting, right, Amit? To finally come up with the national record that he's been looking for so long.
And it's even more insane because he's still talking about the long jump record. So he's talking about going back to that some point, competing in Paris.
High jump.
Sorry, high jump.
Yeah.
I mean, but he could also compete in long jump, man. I mean,
yeah.
maybe not javelin, but pretty much put him in any other sport, and he's a decent enough bet, I guess.
Right.
Well, but so that's the thing with him. I mean, it's not just the fact that like he competed so well. At the end, we also saw that he was waiting by the finish line for everybody else to. And if you noticed, when the podium medal ceremony was happening, he still had enough energy left to actually jump onto the podium, and the presence of mind to tell the gold medal winner that, just lower your bouquet. It's hindering the photographers. So a superb. I mean, that's why I like him, because he's very entertaining in he's charming, obviously, but then he's also very entertaining in certain senses. So a great athlete to cover. He's one of those very articulate athletes. I mean, a lot of people, I think, still have that little bit of a language thing, but with him, that's never an issue.
And yeah, speaking about that, you all should check out Andrew Amson's story. I mean, it's never not a good time to read Andrew Amson's athletic story. So do check out his story from before the Asian Games, when he went and met Tejaswin at his home, and then wrote about how he's going to go for the decathlon national record, one that he's been eyeing for a while. And now that is done, we just got an update from, I mean, I think it was already known. I think he's already mentioned it in a couple of places, but he confirmed after the silver today that, he is now going to focus on the high jump once again with Paris in mind, because, decathlon is going to be a little difficult to make it to Paris with. So so he's going back to high jump after this, and hopefully more national records being broken there. Then the other gold came from go ahead.
No, Parul also. I mean, she has an incredible story. If you guys can check it out, you should go to the indianexpress.com, and Nihal Koshi has written a brilliant piece on Parul about just her journey. Her father pushing her to do this at a time when the family was not even athletically inclined. Her training in sugarcane fields, like empty pathways in sugarcane fields, and from there coming all the way to the Hangzhou Asian Games, winning a silver one day in steeplechase, winning a 5,000 meter gold medal one day later. I mean, that's also incredible. It takes so much effort to just win one gold, but then win two back to back. I mean, incredible.
Yeah, and not to forget the national record that she broke at the World Championships as well. To do that at such a big stage was in the steeplechase is also a big deal. So it's been a very good end of season for her. So well done to her. And so as I was saying, the other gold came from javelin, women's javelin. Annu Rani, kind of a surprise actually. The field wasn't that easy. There was no Kitaguchi from Japan, the world champion from Japan, who wasn't in the field. But there was China's Liu, who is also a very pedigreed athlete. And Annu actually has not had the best of seasons. She's not been able to consistently hit that 60 mark in her 2023 year. Has gone to events outside India. Didn't really manage to have that one spark. Her personal best is 63 something, which she had said maybe last year. But she hadn't gotten close to it. But then she started really well. Second throw or third throw was a new season best, and she followed that up when the Sri Lankan athlete Nadisha overtook Annu around the midway point of the event, and Annu then bounced back with 62.92 of her fourth attempt. a new season best, breaking the season best that she had just set. So to do that twice, to do two season best in one final, and to come up clutch like that when an athlete overtakes is never easy. And she had a very good event, I think. A bit of a surprise medal, actually, honestly speaking. Surprise gold, at least for sure. So well done to Annu as well on that goal.
And
so
there is,
track and field delivering.
and I believe there is a German angle to it because she's been training with Vetter before the Asian Games. A few months before the Asian Games, she's been training with Johannes Vetter in Germany. So maybe there is something that she's picked up from there. I mean, we'll have to talk to the athlete to find out. So, but then maybe that's one of the things we'll look forward to in the coming days.
Perfect. And yeah, so those were the three big medals from athletics. And again, track and field continued to deliver with Vidya Ramraj getting a bronze in the women's 400-meter hurdles. And there was also Praveen Chitravel. Maybe a little bit of a downer there. The way he started the event today, I thought he could maybe push for that 17 that he is capable of. But that 17 plus jump didn't come, and he ended up finishing third. A good bronze, no doubt, but he probably left a little bit out there in terms of the distance. So yeah, China had a 1-2 there. So that was a good event to watch in terms of the back and forth that was going. Abdul Abu Bakr couldn't get the jumps going today. Really, he struggled a little bit. And he's also on his day capable of 17, but it's not been an easy season for him. But so credit to Praveen Chitravel for bronze, even though he might have expected a little more.
There was also a silver medal in the men's 800 from Mohammad Afzal. So maybe one of those surprise medals. I maybe Andrew could tell us, but
yeah, I think they were expected to medal. One of them at least, but it was a little bit of the reverse actually. Mohammad Afzal actually a little bit of reverse of what happened to Parul. He had the lead for a large part of that race, but the Saudi athlete just about beat him in the final, probably 30-40 meters, but it wasn't as close as the Parul, like as thrilling as the Parul one. He sort of died down, and then the Saudi athlete went past him. He had to actually struggle to hold to the second place. It looked like he might actually lose the second place as well. Ended up being a bronze, but he held on with a good finish. And so there was another silver in that track event as well.
Great. I mean, besides that, obviously we have a couple of big events coming up tomorrow, headlined by Neeraj. We will obviously be talking about that later on. But then, Vinayakk, do we move on to boxing? Because a couple of medals coming from there as well, besides all the ones assured. We shift to boxing. Nikat Zareen bronze, and bronze from Narendra, bronze from Preeti.
Yeah, Nikat Zareen bronze was awarded today, but we knew about it. We couldn't talk too much about it in our previous video, but a rare defeat for Nikat, where she has lost, I think, first time in like nearly 2 years in an event before the final. I mean, even in the final. I mean, she's been unbeaten, stretching back to early last year in Stranja Memorial. So a bit of a reality check, not in terms of whether she's complacent or anything like that, but reality check in the sense that, things always won't go her way. And if it had to happen at some point, Mihir put it yesterday brilliantly in our Twitter spaces, which you all, if anyone is watching this, you should try and join every night when we do this on Twitter. Mihir joined us from Hangzhou, and he put it in a way where it made sense, right? I mean, if she had to lose at any event, it better come at, Asian Games, where she's already earned the Olympic quota. So kind of the mission accomplished in that sense. And then now she knows where she has to work on going into Paris. There won't be any sense of complacency, even if it wasn't there before. Just makes sure that it doesn't come into her game. And she knows that people will start targeting her in a particular way, start clinching her more, not allowing her to box, not letting her use her arms. Things like that will happen a lot more. People will start like playing around that sort of a defensive tactic, which she has to find a way out of. So in that sense, it's a good thing. But the headline today from boxing is Lavlina Borgohain winning her semi-final bout and confirming her place in Paris 2024. In her weight category, there were only two Paris quotas available. So she had to reach the final to get the Paris quota, unlike Nikat and a couple of other categories where semi-finalists got Paris quota. In Lovelina's category, it had to be the finalists. So only 2 quotas were available and she got that. The only Indian boxer who so far reached the final in Hangzhou. So big credit to Lovelina, and it was not the easiest of fights as well. She had to kind of bounce back from a less than ideal second round to come back and win that. And Nikat Zareen was there in the stands cheering her. Shiva Thapa and all the boxers were there cheering for her, and that was nice to see as well. So from boxing, that was the highlight. A bit of a low light there was one of the later bouts today in the evening where Sachin was against a Chinese boxer. So you should check out our blog for a little bit of more information on that from Shashank, our boxing correspondent. But basically what happened was the first round, Sachin had lost on all cards, like he was trailing 10-9 across the board from the 5 judges. 17 seconds into the second bout, the Chinese boxer got a cut above his left or right, I forgot, got a cut above his eye during the bout. So it had to be stopped, and the doctor checked him and said the bout cannot continue. Like if the boxer is badly injured, the bout cannot continue. Now, Sachin thought that the cut happened with his punch because of his left or right punch that he landed on his face. And that's why the cut happened. But it didn't. Apparently, there was a head clash during the punching, and then the head clash resulted in the cut. So even though the bout was stopped because of the injury to the Chinese boxer, it was not a referee stops contest win for the Indian. So what happened is they judged the bout on the first round and the 17 seconds of the second round. They judged it as a bout using that. And with that, the Chinese boxer was declared a winner. So even though the injury was for the Chinese boxer, even though he got the cut and the bout was stopped and not completed, he ended up being the winner. I mean, it's one of those things that makes you scratch your head about boxing, just what the heck is going on here. I mean, those are the rules, but yeah, it's one of those frustrating sports that even for those of us in the field of, sports covering and writing, it hardly ever makes sense completely. So yeah, among all the highlights, I think this was one of those moments that I think needs a little bit of discussion. It's got a lot of attention on social media as well.
Right. Moving on to canoe sprint, we had a men's canoe double in the 1,000-meter race from Sunil Singh Salam and Arjun Singh combining to win us a bronze. And I mean, incredible story of Sunil. I was reading somewhere that he's somebody whose father was a fisherman, and which is how he got into water for the first time. And I mean, he started doing this at the age of 13. He started doing this at the age of 15, and now 9 years later finds himself as an Asian Games bronze medalist. Incredible story there.
Yeah, good one. And before we wrap, we need to speak about the archers. Absolutely fascinating morning in the archery field today with the compound archers. They were expected to deliver. There was a lot of expectations on them, given the form they've been. We've had world champions in compound archery or any sort of archery for the first time ever this year, and all of them came from compound this year. Three different gold medalists. So a lot of expectations, and they delivered in some style in the individual event today. So just to quickly wrap up, Jyoti Sureka Venom and Aditi Gopichan Swami, the world champion, they had an all-Indian semi-final, meaning there was a guaranteed place in the final for an Indian. Aditi shot superbly for 120 out of 120 from her first 4 ends, and then a stray 7 out of nowhere. She just shot a 7, and you can't do that against Jyoti. Jyoti is one of the most consistent scorers in the game, and it ended up being heartbreak for the teenager from Maharashtra. So Jyoti into the final in the compound individual women. In compound individual men was where the fireworks happened with Abhishek narrowly coming through a shoot-off in the quarterfinals, then winning the semifinals, reaching the final. Later on, Ojas Praveen Diotale actually shot 150 in the quarterfinal and backed it up with another 150, which is the maximum that you can get in a compound individual match. 2 perfect scores in the 2 matches that he shot in today to reach the final. So it was an Abhishek Ojas final in compound archery men's individual, meaning a silver gold assured there for India, and Aditi will shoot for bronze. There's a little bit of a heartbreak in recurve where Atanu Das and Dheeraj Bommadevra both had chances to win their quarterfinals, enter the semifinals, and be in line for a Paris Olympic quota. Both of them could have, if two Indian archers in the semifinals, there was good odds of a Paris quota from here, but both of them lost in shoot-offs. It was a crazy, crazy match. Details are there in our blog. Both were crazy matches. Yeah, a little bit of heartbreak and recurve. And then there is more archery to come tomorrow, day after, with the team events taking center stage. And yeah, that was a pretty good morning for Indian athletics and Indian athletes. And then athletics took center stage in the evening again.
Absolutely. Well, there is going to be a pretty good day coming up tomorrow. And we'll be back with another day wrap once again on our YouTube channel. But if you are up and want to track what is happening on day 11 of the Asian Games, you should check out our live blog, which is up at 6 a.m. You can also check out our newspaper for some of our best sports writing there is. Thank you so much for joining us. This is me, Amit Kamath from Mumbai, and Vinayakk from Noida, saying goodbye.